Hey y'all. So the Nintendo Switch was announced along with prices and the such, and I just wanted to do a little calculation to see how much it would cost for what I consider to be a full package. You know, what I'd want if I were buying one near day one. Later in the video I'll bring in prices for the system in Britain, Canada, and Australia because Mr. Analytics says I have a surprising amount of viewers there. After all that, I'm going to compare what I got from the Switch with some of its competition, namely the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the PC. The total prices I go down the line will be in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. All prices come from the official Nintendo Switch website, of course. Your initial $300 will go to the base console. This comes with a console itself, one dock, one set of Joy-Con, a grip for said Joy-Con to make them more like a traditional controller, some straps for the Joy-Con, an HDMI cable, and an AC cable. Two things of note are that this does not include any pack-in games, and that the grip that comes with the console is not the charging grip I'll bring up later on. Then I'm gonna want me a big ol' launch day single player game, so that's pretty much The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Add on another $60 for that. Being that this is a core, supposedly no gimmick game, I'm going to want a Pro Controller. The Joy-Con might be good enough, but I've got big hands, and honestly the Pro Controller just looks a lot better for ye old couch gaming. Add on another $70 for the HD Rumble enabled Pro Controller. Next up, I'm gonna want a real good multiplayer game to sink my teeth into with a friend, so I'm going to go with ARMS. Looks fun enough. Add on another $60. But if you look at the trailer, these people are clearly using two sets of Joy-Con, so I'll need another set of those. Add on another $80. Man, that HD Rumble better be stellar. But hey, what if I want to use that set of Joy-Con as a traditional controller down the line? That's going to be $30 for a grip that can charge the controllers while in use. The console does not come with that grip, and there's no way to separately buy the grip that comes with the console, which would probably be cheaper. Now look at that number in the bottom right. Let's bring it to the left here. In America, if you want all of that, it will cost you $600 USD flat. In Britain, it will be £535, in Canada $790 CAD, in Australia $910 dues. Let's add on one more number. The non-US price is translated via exchange rate to USD. Britain comes out to $658.20, Canada comes out to $592.09, and finally Australia comes out to $686.06. Judging by that, Canada has the best deal and Australia is getting screwed over. But knowing what I do about video games in Australia, that seems par for the course. Now let's examine the competition, but before I do, I want to state that I know the Nintendo Switch is a new sort of hybrid console between handheld and at home. I know that Nintendo makes some pretty fantastic first-party games you can't find elsewhere. But I also know that some people just want a good console with good games, and a good variety of them too, and don't care about things like HD Rumble, IR sensors, or even portability, and will be willing to buy from the competition. From here on out, if you live outside America, compare the adjusted price to USD I gave you for price comparison from here on out. So, the PS4. For $600 USD, not including sales, the same price I just brought up for the Switch, I can get the PS4 Slim console with Uncharted 4 and Final Fantasy 15 packed in along with one controller for $335, another controller for about $50, 1 year of PlayStation Plus for $60, keep in mind the Nintendo Switch will have paid online, the price just hasn't been announced yet, Rocket League for $20 as an online multiplayer game, Mortal Kombat XL for $50 as a local multiplayer game, and Titanfall 2 for $60 as a big AAA multiplayer game, with a bit of single player. Now, this actually comes out to $575, $25 under, and it's worth mentioning that both Mortal Kombat XL and Titanfall 2 were on sale at the time, so it would have been even less than that. And if I had the same logic for the PS4 as I did for the Nintendo Switch, being I want one single-player game and one multiplayer game for friends, I'd be left with a cost of $435 to reach that goal. Oh, and I'd have an extra single-player game anyways because it came with the console. Oh, did I also bring up that the PS4 comes with a 500GB hard drive while the Nintendo Switch comes with a 32GB hard drive that must be expanded by micro SD if you seriously want to download digital games? Because that's true. Whew, now for the Xbox One. For $260, you can get the console plus one controller and one pack-in game. There's a few choices for that pack-in game, but personally I'd go with Rare Replay because of the fantastic N64 games included. Keep in mind that if you pay Nintendo a monthly online subscription, they'll let you rent a NES or SNES game for a month. You don't get to keep it. Then add on a controller for $60, Xbox Live for a year for $60, Rocket League Collector's Edition for $30 because Amazon doesn't have the regular version for Xbox One displayed, Mortal Kombat XL for $30, Titanfall 2 for $60, and now we're at $500 flat for what we got with the PS4 on the Xbox One minus one pack-in game. So screw it. Add on Final Fantasy 15 for $60. We've got $40 left over, and again, if I went with the same logic as the Switch, I'd be spending actually only $350 on the console, the controller, and Mortal Kombat XL. Now, before you say putting in Mortal Kombat XL on anything is unfair, because it's a souped-up re-release of a game, keep in mind the Nintendo Switch will be offering Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at $60 later this year. I don't even own an Xbox One, and actually so far I think I've been very fair in the Switch's direction, and if you don't think so, consider I didn't factor in the cost of a micro SD card, which could be up to $200 for about half the space of an Xbox One or PS4, an extra dock if you're so inclined, or the online subscription, which will likely be $60 like the PS4 and Xbox One for a year, and not mentioning the smartphone you're gonna need to use the paid app you'll need to talk to people with. So for last, let's go with the PC. I'm mainly a PC gamer myself, and I know well enough that the initial investments on PCs can suck. Here I'm just sticking to PC hardware cost because every person I've ever met in my life has at least one mouse, keyboard, and monitor laying around. And before you fault me on that, make sure to add on the cost of an HD TV to your console. This PC I set up cost $600 with Windows and before mail-in rebates. It'll run anything the PS4 or Xbox One can easily and probably better too. Now of course you don't see any games here, but I think that's fair because on PC you can play games like League of Legends, Warframe, Team Fortress 2, Dota 2, My Doom Starter Pack, Path of Exile, and Hearthstone all for free, and that's not even counting its emulation potential and the good sales the PC often gets. Like, Skyrim still costs $60 on the Switch. As a PC gamer, that sounds absurd. It came out nearly 6 years ago. Oh, and if you're willing to go Linux, already have a Windows disk around, choose this build. Now after all that, let me say something that may shock you. Next year I'll probably be buying a Nintendo Switch. That Mario game is blowing me away, and I feel some prices will be a bit more fair coming year's time. But I just wanted to highlight how much this system actually costs. Personally, I think it's a bit overpriced, especially in the accessories department, and what we've seen of its online capabilities is pitiful. All that aside, what do you think? Is it a bit much? Is it a fair price to you? Tell me below, I'll be looking. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.